Warzone just got another update. Call of Duty has been dishing out updates for both Resurgence, multiplayer, Warzone, you name it, and I'm starting to feel a little spoiled. But the latest update brought changes to a bunch of different weapons, but the ones we're gonna focus on today is the changes for ranked. There has been a lot of conversations about whether ranked has saved Warzone or not, and I think that the bottom line is that it depends. We're having some technical difficulties out here. Server disconnected? Excuse me, ¿qué? Look, YouTube, that answers my question on whether we're going to be able to play Fortune's Keep or not. So how about this? How about we jump into this time machine? Okay, they added a new playlist. Best of 09 or best era of Call of Duty in, honestly, ever. So back in the day, for those of you guys that remember YouTube, Call of Duty YouTube. Okay, let me preface this. Call of Duty that would go into pubs and just have a conversation with you. So come here, jump into the time machine with me. In 09, I was an 8th grader. Not that matters. That just kind of shows like just how long Call of Duty has been at a peak. So in this time machine that we're jumping back to, the last thing I want is a hard point. I'm crossing my fingers for a team deathmatch, kill confirmed. I'll take a kill confirmed. If I had a pick, I would want Scrapyard team deathmatch. I feel like that would just do something for me nostalgically. I feel like that's one of the maps that I would drop into quite often. Terminal used to be something that I was very excited for. Like that map came up and I was like, yay. Now I'm like, no. But that's also because I've been playing a lot of multiplayer rank, and Terminal Search and Destroy is ass. The thing about Call of Duty back in the day is the movement was very different. So jump spots and all of that, it wasn't as cruddy as it is now. With the movement that we have now, they don't mix well. And I feel like that's a part of the reason that this question is also very difficult. It's a two-part question. It's pretty loaded. And that's what the answer to that is. It depends. Latency is insane though. 40 is crazy. But back to this very loaded question. I feel like in the last... Oh, he peeked me? Oh yeah, that always feels good. In the last like 10 years, oh yeah, the best iteration of COD that we've gotten has definitely been Cold War, and it hasn't even been close. And a big part of the reason for that is because they had such a really solid rank system. At least that's what did it for me. And you know, not just that, the movement, the maps, they were all geared towards your traditional COD.
To help them, a 2v4 now for Atlanta FaZe. And look to close it out as Seam gets gunned all on Clay.
Sorry, friend. Low PO'd. It didn't, so we're okay. 40 ping, still insane. Oh, we're on a little bit of a tear. We're gonna move it down. I'm gonna pop this U. Doing stuff down there. Rick Grimes, please. So I don't know if some of you guys remember playing ranked in Cold War. Now, at the time, it was only available for multiplayer. Obviously, the first iteration for Warzone ranked didn't happen until Modern Warfare 2. And even then, it was something that was a work in progress at best. Okay, and I say that very tentatively because they did take a bunch of the good parts of all the different BRs that had working rank systems, but I feel like they didn't execute it properly off the bat. And a lot of it is not even their fault. It's just the things that are available to us as a BR for Warzone. It's very different than the things that are available for things like, let's say, Apex or even Fortnite, right? Like they don't have loadouts. All of those things contribute to having a very different feel for what Warzone ranked is. And although I do think that it revitalized a big player base in COD to have rank like that, I also think that it contributed to some of the quarrels that we have currently because it's not valid. For example, right now, although we've had multiple months of rank data for Warzone, they released Resurgence rank for Fortune's Keep, which had this mechanic called taps. And for those of you guys that have Twitter, this has been a hot topic for the last couple of weeks since it released, basically. And it involves the fact that SR is so inflated right now, or at least it was during the tap era. And again, this is also why I say that it's a work in progress in terms of how ranked is gonna continue to evolve and make sure that we continue to move forward as a title. I do think that Call of Duty will always have a very solid player base and fan base. Some people don't have the time to play as often as they did back in the day, and that's understandable. Things change. I am one of those people. I used to play much more than I do currently, and a lot of it has less to do with my time and more to do with the ability of the game as well. So although we're talking about rank specifically, I do think that the current state of cheaters in the game as a whole has a huge part to my want to play the game or not. And the answer is I don't. If we don't get this cheater thing in order, I do think that it makes the decision to play the game much harder if you don't have a lot of time to give it, right? So imagine you're only going to log in for a few hours. Even though I would love to play ranked and whatnot, if I'm just running into cheaters at every single queue, it's also the reason that I started playing something like Fortnite in between. It just made just a little bit easier to maneuver. I'm just being obnoxious in their base. I feel bad, but I also don't feel bad. So again, the answer to that question is very... It depends. Love that. But overall, if I had to actually pick a yes or no answer, I would say that, yeah, I feel like rank did save the state of where Call of Duty was because of games like Modern Warfare 2. It alienated a big portion of the fan base. There are so many people that stopped playing, myself included, when Modern Warfare 2 was the title of release. For the simple reason that movement was taken away, like things that we actually cared about, right? So ranked was the only thing that kept it afloat at that time. So the answer to that specifically is, yeah, it did. It did absolutely save it. It made it so that it was something worth playing. It was rewarding to a degree, and I do believe that it saved it. It kept it afloat at least while we transitioned to a different title, a better one, because Modern Warfare 3 is a better title by far, hands down. Now, a lot of it is also because of the ongoing support that we have from the devs currently. Like, for example, this tap situation. They removed it after listening to the community. It was overinflating star gains, making it a little bit less than integrity-wise for something like ranked. I think we win. I think no matter what, we win. Love that. Overall, this mode it's worth it. But mostly it just kind of gave us an avenue to continue talking about things that, in my opinion, I really am rooting for Call of Duty to continue to be the best that it can be. So although I think that we are on good tracks or a good path to fix some of these things in terms of not just rank, but even something like the CDO in general, it's our responsibility to be vocal, respectful. Some of you guys are a little out of pocket, but it's our responsibility to continue making sure that we're moving in the right direction. And I do believe that ranked is part of that. Having a competitive foundation for people that even casual players is rewarding. It holds and helps the longevity of something like Call of Duty. So yes, I do think that this is something that we need to continue to strive for. I hope that the devs continue to listen, and I'll catch you guys out there. Peace, love, positivity. Mwah.